It is entirely possible we could go undefeated this season and not finish in first place. My name is FM20. It's time to get real. But Jellico, I hear some of you ask, how is that possible? Because we keep frickin' drawing games we shouldn't be drawing. That's why. We've won 26 games. We've drawn 7. That puts us on 85 points. We got a game in hand, and we're 3 points behind Barcelona. Now, the good news is, I got to get to it here. After the game against Atletico today, our last 4 opponents are all, they're bottom table. It's Getafe, Malaga, Alaves, Granada. So you have Getafe, Alaves, Malaga, Granada. Now, the good news is Barcelona and Madrid, the only other 2 teams who are possibly capable of winning first place, are playing each other the last game of the season. Plus, Madrid is in the Champions League final, I want to say. I thought I saw something coming across that, and that has not been scheduled yet. They are also playing Athletic Club and Atletico. And as you can see here, Athletic Club is 5th. Atletico, who we're playing today, is 15th, but they're a team that could jump up and surprise you. Barcelona, on the other hand, is playing Man United in the semifinals. Maybe Madrid didn't make it. Then they got Alaves, Celta Vigo, and Real Madrid, and Osasuna, who are... Don't even get me started on Osasuna. Let me go back to Real Madrid real quick. Did they lose out in the Group H? Quarterfinal... No, they lost to Arsenal. No, they booked a spot because they're in 3rd place. That's what it was. So, anyhow, our schedule. Osasuna. 2 men down after the 58th minute because Antons got sent off in the 23rd minute, and then David Sharkey got double yellowed within the space of 3 minutes. Despite that, despite 33 shots, 12 on target, 2 woodwork hits, 3 clear-cut chances, 5 half chances, and a 62% possession advantage, we drew with him. I literally turned the computer off and just walked away for a little while. It was annoying as hell. I read. It was nice. It was a nice, departure. And then I said, hey, let's subject myself to some more angst and anger and frustration. So I played Tarkov for about an hour. Escape from Tarkov, it's a first-person shooter game. I'm absolutely in love with it. I used to think FM was the most frustrating game ever. No, it's Escape from Tarkov, hands down. FM's a very close second, though. Very, very close second. But anywho, oh, yeah. We got ourselves right against Ivar. We beat them 2-0, and for some reason, this keeps defaulting to the other page. I'm not quite sure why. Petrov and Verdonk each with goals against Deportivo. Robert Maria brace of goals. Against Cadiz, we drew. Hrvanik hit a goal in the 82nd minute to claw the drawback. I really thought we were losing this, and then we just got lucky. This was one of those games where we just could not do anything right. We had 30 shots, 5 on target, 1 woodwork hit, and a decent possession advantage. Cadiz had 5 shots, 1 on target. They sat way, way back. They played this 5-2-2-1 that I've never seen the game play before. The only thing I've seen weirder than this was in FM19 in the Champions League. I saw Spartak Moscow play a 4-4-2, but it was 2 defensive midfielders and 2 wing backs behind 4 defensive backs, and then the 2 strikers up top, and they won like 7-1. It was absolutely amazing. But anywho, I really thought we lost this. After Poku scored, I was literally just like holding my head in my hands going, oh my God, we're going to blow this. And instead, Vlachov Hrvanik saved us. So it's going to be an interesting episode today. We're going to play Atletico. And then I'm going to play it by ear. Depending on what happens, I'll keep playing and going through. I'll do the recaps after all the games. And then if push comes to shove, if it comes down to the last game of the season, we'll play Granada and see what happens. So I'm going to double check my best 11, set the reserves. We're going to come back for a match against Atletico Madrid in just a bit. Well, it's our last hard game of the season, quote unquote. I just said that out loud. We're playing our 4-2-4, of course. Seferovic in goal, Kermuth, Stevic, Uche, and Furstein as the defensive back 4. Slamano and Malo as the midfielders because Augusto has too many yellow cards. Verdonk and Israel as the attacking midfielders. Maria and Roberto up top as the strikers. I need to switch them real quick. And my assistant manager didn't exactly botch the pregame talk, but it wasn't the best. Israel off the throw-in to back and forth, and Roberto finally gets the goal after. Verdonk gets the goal after it bounces off a couple different players. Let's see what happened there. So Uche throws it in. Israel dinks it over. Verdonk back and forth. Heads it down. Roberto bounces it off a couple players. Lands at Verdonk's feet. And he just blows it in. Okay. Israel. Back to Malo. Up to Furstein. Oh, his shot caroms off and Bastos runs it down. Back to Winners. Over to Gascon. To Granger. Up to Rodinelli. He feeds Besnier. And his shot goes wide right. Uche just picked up an injury. He came back from the big injury, gashed his leg, was out for a week. Good grief. Okay, after this, we will get Uche off. Gascon, a nice pass to Rodinelli. Who gets by the 1, gets by the 2, and it goes out for the goal kick. Bring Thorpe on, who's still unhappy with the amount of playing time he has been getting. 33 games in, he's played 26 of them. Stevic to Thorpe. To Israel. Up towards Maria. Nice pass into space. Maria holds it up. Crosses in. Roberto's there. It's wide left. Just barely. Quinoz on the throw-in. And an easy shot that Seferovic has no problem stopping. Although, frankly, now these days, I kind of hold my breath when stuff like that happens because you never know what's going to happen. Roberto heads it down, but it goes right to Granger. Quinones. Okay. Swain. Back out to Quinones, who loses it. He keeps it inbounds, but it goes right to Roberto, who sends it to Kerma. Now Kerma and Stevic are playing back and forth. Stevic to Malo, to Verdonk. Oh, he's dispossessed. Bastos picks it up. Long pass in space for Rodinelli. 1-on-1 with Seferovic. Off the post. And Seferovic gathers the ball. Wow, we dodged a bullet there. I told my guys to show some passion. Now Israel's frustrated by the feedback. Flipping real, people. Gascon from outside the box, and Seferovic gets that in the air. Throw it out, dude. You got him. Instead, you're going to give it right to Maria. Okay, Maria, nice first touch. Gets it to Verdonk. He's 2-on-3. Dispossessed. Gets the ball back. Roberto, Slamanu. Over to Israel. Guys are dwelling on the ball too damn much. Thorpe. All the way back to the 7. Jeez. Malo. Long pass for Roberto. Got behind the defenders. And, nice defensive play by the 25. Rodinelli with the ball. Back to Winners. To Van Hoof. That was a nice defensive play by Van Hoof, but he gives it away to Thorpe. Out to Israel on the right. To Maria. In the box. Holds it up. Verdonk. Off the crossbar. Israel can't stop it. Does he stop it from going out of bounds? He does, but he finally kicks it. Does it go off? Well, I thought it went off an Atletico player for the corner, but now we'll never know. Furstein to Malo. Back to Furstein. To Malo. Over to Slamanu. Back to Thorpe. You know, if that's how Thorpe's going to keep playing, maybe he doesn't deserve a starter's contract. Oh, Maria, nice header to Roberto. Dispossessed by Van Hoof again. Gets it back and lasers it past the Atletico keeper. Maria, nice header. Van Hoof has been absolutely fabulous. Israel to Maria, back to Roberto. I have to take a look at Van Hoof at the half. He has been nothing short of spectacular. Oh, Van Hoof. How much you want to bet he's Dutch? And his name is probably something like Van Hoof. Slamanu out to Israel, all alone on the right. In the box. Holds it up. Nope, drives forward. Verdonk is there. Off Swain. Oh, Swain got enough on to push it away. And the follow-up went just outside. And we are ahead 2-0 thanks to goals by Verdonk and Roberto. We are firmly in control of this game, but, that's only the first half. Omar Van Hoof. He's grading out as a 47. Why is he grading out as a 47? 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Physically, he is, wow. Mentally, he's pretty solid, too. 17 tackling, 14 marking, 16 heading, 22 years old. That's a 47? Good grief. Atletico just bought him for $39 million. Firstine. To Maria, to Israel. Drops off to Malo, sends it in, but it's knocked away. Slimanu. Back out to Firstine. He crosses it in. Verdonk is there, and far post past Swain. That was nice. Heck, Firstine probably grades out as a 47 as well. There are some things about FM I will just never really understand. This year, the scouting seems to be off. The transfers are absolutely freaking whack. I can't believe I said that out loud. Good God. You know, when a keeper like Seferovic, who is a very good keeper, and the best offer I get for him is 7.5 million euros, you know something's wrong. Even going back to like Lamatre and Charles Ely Mathis, when I was trying to move them, that was annoying. So, Bastos, very nice move. Kerma gets back in front of him, and it hits the crossbar and bounces over. Kerma did well to recover there. Kerma on the throw-in. Slimanu bounces it off Bastos, and there's no one there to get it. Bastos drives forward. The number 4 stayed with the 18. I don't know why. Seferovic got a hand on it. And it goes out of bounds. Some of the defensive issues are just, yeah. Coming up on 60 minutes, we are going to make one change here after this probably. Slimanu sends it in. It's knocked away. Besnir gets by the one defender. This is what I'm talking about defensively. Watch this. Okay, so I'm going to highlight Firstine. He's the defensive right back. He gets by Firstine. Firstine runs away from him. So Malo, who's my midfielder, can come over and cover him. That makes no sense. Why wouldn't Firstine stay with him, seeing as how he's the defensive right back? That's one of the things. Something under the hood's a bit wrong. Gascon with the free kick, and he curls it wide. We're going to make a couple substitutes. Thorup's coming off. Lenz is coming on. We're going to get Kerma off and bring Spender on. Next season it is going to be a battle between Kerma and Tisevic. I'm leaving Verdonk on because I want to see if he can't get his hat trick. Rodinelli to Quinones. Back to Rodinelli. Thies. Oh, he skies it. It was a nice pass, though. And they went 4-4-2. Thies to Granger on the throw-in. Oh, ball caroms away. Slimanu picks it up. Gets it to Maria. Taps up to Roberts. And nice shot, but right at Swain. Winters just bombs that out. Corner kick. Israel. Spender. Oh, Stevic, a hard shot, but right at Swain, who pushed it wide right. Israel again. Lenz. Oh, somehow that got knocked away, but Verdonk steals it, and the highlight ends. Interesting choice. And we win 3-1. And by virtue of goal differential, Barcelona is still ahead of us. Well, I'm going to save it here, and we shall keep playing the games, and something happens, I will let you know. Back in a bit. Well, it is the next day here in the real world. I didn't realize how late it was last night and looked up and it was like 3-something in the morning. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to bed and continue this tomorrow. And that's what we are doing. Currently, we are still doing really well. We beat Getafe 3-1. Goal by Israel and a brace of goals by Maria saw us through there. We absolutely thumped Malaga 2-0. A Verdonk penalty kick and a clever goal in the 82nd minute saw us through. Up until a Verdonk goal, it was really touch and go. We had 3 goals disallowed, I want to say. So we're coming up. We're playing Alaves and Granada last. Alaves is 17th, Granada is 19th. The finals have already been the final standings have kind of already been sorted out. We've got a game in hand. So if we win, we're 2 points ahead of Barcelona. Then, of course, we're playing Granada. And then, of course, we're playing Real Madrid. So it's the absolute trappiest of trap games ever. So I'm going to play this Alaves game, and then we're going to come back and we'll live comm the Granada match. So back in a bit. Well, we beat Alaves 4-0 thanks to goals by Barry Verdonk, Antonio Augusto, Carlos Roberto had his goals. He's been an absolute steal this season. If a player that you can buy for 65 million euros is a steal, he's had a very good all-around season. He's also been a star for the Brazilian squad. I think he has we can take a look at that here real quick. He's got 8 goals in the FIFA World Cup CONMEBOL, the FIFA World Cup qualification. Yikes. He's got 18 goals in La Liga, 2 goals and 7 assists in the Champions League. He had the 1 goal in the Copa del Rey. He has been absolutely everything I could have hoped for and more. He and Maria have teamed up and become a very good duo up top. So, standings-wise, all comes down to the last game of the season like we thought. We lucked out because Barcelona is playing Madrid. We are playing Granada. I am starting my best available 11. If we somehow manage to blow this, I'm going to be highly, highly miffed. Stevic got his 10th yellow card, so he's out for at least... Oh, God, they got Oyarzabal. Shoot. He's, what, 34 now? Good grief. I know they tried moving him. I thought he left. 36. Okay, physically, he doesn't really have anymore, but mentally, technically, he's still there. He went to Tottenham for $17.5 million, and they loaned him back to Granada. How did I miss that? Okay. Okay, before we get the game started, we need to go here and go latest scores. Real Barcelona is the one we need to keep our eye on. Uche's not exactly match fit, but he is available. So he's healthy-er. Maybe not healthiest. And Verdonk scores off the opening kickoff. That's exactly what we needed. I want to put my foot on Granada's neck and keep on pressing until we Galatasaray them. They've been a fabulous host for us. They've hosted us for 3 years in their stadium. I can't be upset about that. I mean, our new stadium is going to be finished here in a couple of weeks. And... I'll show you that the first game of the next season. I can tell it's late because my S's are starting to whistle. So Verdonk gets by the defender, charges forward. It's 4-on-3, and he gets there. Israel's there, but it hits the crossbar and goes over. I suspect this offseason is going to be very, very busy. If we win out, we have gone invincible. And Verdonk scores again after the ball caroms off a couple different players. Augusto is being chased by Man City. Verdonk's being chased by Liverpool. Carlos Roberto is getting a few nibbles, but he just signed for us after just signing in. Wow, that was a very good sequence. After signing from Sao Paulo, you will notice that I have not talked about my youth intake because it was absolutely horrible. I'm firing my head of youth development this summer. As soon as the season's over, he's gone. It was insane. My best player was 2.5-star potential. I kept everybody on and did the trials, and at the end, they all graded out sub 20. It's ridiculous. Lee can't gain with the ball. He can be dangerous, but not when Uche dispossesses him. Roberto up to Verdonk, to Maria, got by the defender, and he takes the shot right at the Granada keeper. Barcelona and Madrid are tied. Uche back to Kerma. He crosses it in, bounces back and forth. Diego knocks it up to Leon, who's dispossessed by Furstein. Maria to Uche. Uche crosses it in. Roberto to Israel, but right at Suarez. Why Roberto did not take the shot there, I am not quite sure. Israel, baseline, crosses it in. Maria's there off the crossbar and out. That's 2 woodwork hits we've had now. Only one. They're counting that other one as something else then, I guess. And it is coming up on halftime. We are, I'm not going to say comfortably ahead, but we are ahead 2-0 thanks to 17 shots, 8 on target. They've had 2 shots, none on target. I'm not going to say comfortably because it's FM. Anything can happen. The one thing I have not looked at is how many yellow cards we have. We need more points than yellows. Barcelona just scored on Madrid. Gusto to Marquez to Oyarzabal. Diego launches it up to Fofana, who can be dangerous, especially... Oh, wow. He hit the post and went out. Oh, how did we dodge a bullet there? Holy smokes. We're 70 minutes in. I'm not going to make any changes just yet. Nobody's on a yellow card. Everybody is still above 70%. Most everybody's in the green. Told the guys to concentrate, and Furstein's overwhelmed. That's not a good sign. And we win. And we win La Liga. And for some reason, my celebrations are turned off. 2-0. That was well done. Thanks to a brace of Barry Verdant goals. And on 100 points in an undefeated season. That is very, very cool. I'm going to save this here real quick, and then we're going to come back with a look at what happened, and then a recap, and a look at the players and everything like that. It's going to end up being an overly long episode. For that, I apologize, but I'm reasonably sure it's worth it. Back in a bit. Now, we do lift the trophy on the last day with a 2-0 victory. The board is absolutely delighted with the club vision. Stevic could be headed to Barcelona. A lot of players could be leaving. Okay, bunch of guys got a bunch of medals. Verdonk was stellar. He had an absolutely fabulous season. We will get to that here in just a second. Solskjaer's at Man United. Man United unemployed, Rome at West Ham, Milan, and back to Man United. Yeah, where he finished 4th. Collective bonuses were paid out 11 million euros to a lot of people. And before the day kicks over, let's take a look at the squad while they are still here. It helps if I click on the right things. Laszlo Seferovic, a solid season for us, 33 appearances. Overall, he had 25 appearances in La Liga, allowed 19 goals, had 13 shutouts. I think he's getting close to topping out. I know Juve made an offer for him earlier in the season, and then on a flyer I took just to see what would happen and put him out there in the January transfer window, and my best offer was 7.5 million euros, which is apparently his value, but you don't have a player this good with numbers like that going for 7.5 million. The bigger issue is that Ryan Bates is better than him in more than a few areas, and he's valued at 23.5 million. So I think this is possibly Laszlo's last year. It depends on who comes in and makes an offer for him and whether or not I can get what I perceive to be the best value for him. Timo Furstein, a solid season. For a guy who, on paper, is 2-star current ability, 2-star potential ability, what I think a lot of people would realize is that the areas he needs to be fairly good in, he's fairly good in. He's just falling off in a couple of them. No goals, but he had 5 assists and a 7.07 rating. It's possible. I don't know that he'll be the full-time starter next year. My plan was to start Slimanu most of the season at defensive right back. For a variety of reasons, that just didn't happen. Ahmed Uche, when he wasn't injured, had a solid season for us. 5 goals, 1 assist, 1 player of the match. Armin Lenz, in a half season for us, was fairly solid. 11 appearances, 2 off the bench, 1 assist. Kerma, a very solid season. 37 appearances, 3 goals, 10 assists, 2 players of the match. The 1 red card, though, is really annoying. And he had 8 yellow cards overall. But he's going to be fighting out with Tasevic next year. Alexander Petrov really stepped up and had a solid season. 27 appearances, 7 off the bench, 3 goals, 5 assists, 3 players of the match. Antonio Augusto is wanted by a bunch of squads. Man United Inter, that was 5 or 6 teams larger. 5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, 27 years old, very good ball-winning midfielder. Had 20 assists, but that is in aggregate. His 18 tied the La Liga record. Yeah, Gusco tied Gascon's record. Took me a minute to remember where that was. Israel, a solid season as well. 30 appearances, 2 off the bench, 7 goals, 8 assists, 2 players of the match. He's going to have people sniffing around him. I almost guarantee it. Barry Verdonk, a solid season. 35 appearances, 6 off the bench, 33 goals, 11 assists, 5 players of the match. But that 33 is an aggregate. He had 22 in La Liga, but still a very solid performance. Robert Maria, 43 appearances, 3 off the bench, 30 goals, 9 assists, 8 players of the match. But he also had 20 goals in La Liga. And then Carlos Roberto, 43 appearances, 2 off the bench, 21 goals, 12 assists, 4 players of the match. He had 18 goals in La Liga. So I had 3 guys who were 18 goals or better. Herdia Mutsila came back to us at the mid-level, at the mid-season, and didn't do much. He came off the bench 6 times. Václav Hrvanik, 7 appearances, 22 off the bench. Which was by plan, by design. I wanted to bring him off the bench this year, and I did. 7 appearances, 22 off the bench, 7 goals, 1 assist, 2 players of the match. He will get playing time next season, especially if a couple players end up leaving. Rune Tollefson, 20 appearances, 6 off the bench, 7 goals, 13 assists, 1 player of the match. He is now wanted by Burnley, Fulham, and Marseille. Carl Hurst, 8 appearances, 9 off the bench, 4 goals, 1 assist, 1 player of the match, which is what I expected from a guy who is essentially my 4th striker. Roman Spender, 9 appearances, 20 off the bench, 1 goal. Firmin Malo, a typical Firmin Malo season. 29 appearances, 1 off the bench, 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 players of the match with a 7.50 rating. Jean Kleber, in a half season, 4 appearances, 2 off the bench, just the 1 goal, but he'll get more playing time next year. Anyone else of consequence, really? Miko Stevic, he's wanted by Barcelona and Real Madrid. So I could probably get a lot of money for him. 1 goal, 6 assists. Dennis Thorup, he'll be leaving. I'm not gonna put up with him on my squad. He complained about playing time, and that was after he had 27 appearances. Ryan Bates, 17 appearances. He had 13 in La Liga. He had 7 shutouts rather. He allowed 8 goals, and he's improving by leaps and bounds. And his determination went up a great deal. So, yeah, I suspect Seferovic could be leaving. Amin Slimanu, 22 appearances, 2 off the bench. I was hoping he'd become my defensive right back of the future, but I don't know that that's going to take. Ari Thunesen, 3 appearances, 1 off the bench. He's definitely a prospect, but he'll definitely get playing time. If we go by average rating, the highest this year was Antonio Augusto with a 7.79. Barry Verdonk had a 7.52. Maria 7.51. We had virtually 2/3 of our team 7.0 or better. So, and budget-wise, we did get our transfer budgets for next year. That was a little while ago. We got 163 million euros to spend. I may have to already talked about this, and 2.6 million payroll, which is nice because we're spending 2.3, but some of that's going to fall off. So, there are going to be quite a few changes in the coaching staff. I am going to let my head of youth development go because our youth intake was absolutely horrible, and I'm tired of it. Lionel Messi is a head of youth development for Sao Paulo. You know, part of me says I should go and spend money to get him. If anything, the name recognition alone will bring the youngsters to the squad. So if we look at our stats overall, Barry Verdonk led us with 33 goals. Antonio Augusto with a 7.79 rating. 20 assists. Ahmed Uche, 91% pass completion rating. Robert Maria, 8 players of the match. Antonio Augusto, 17 yellow cards. In our 38 matches played, we had 98 goals scored, which was the second highest. 27 goals allowed, which was second best. 95 yellow cards. Beat it by 5. And the board thinks I'm doing a great job. I don't know. This year was... I'm not going to say it's a disappointment. We went undefeated. We won 31. We drew 7. And frankly, we drew them to some decent teams. We drew Barcelona twice, drew to Madrid, drew to Eibar, drew to Athletic Club. The only 2 that kind of stand out are Cadiz and Osasuna. Cadiz is 12th, Osasuna is 11th. They're mid-table squads. Maybe we should have won those. Maybe we shouldn't have. But I know we should have gone farther in the Copa del Rey, and I know we should have gone farther in the Champions League. And that is the goal for next season, is to win the Copa del Rey and go farther and challenge in the Champions League. And if we don't, I'm going to be really, really kind of upset. Not as sad as was as, players getting sent off for stupid red cards and stuff like that. That seemed to happen an awful lot this season. But I'm going to call this a wrap here. I'm not quite sure how long the episode's going to be. This particular segment right now is 12 minutes long, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to edit that. I can edit that down to maybe 7 or 8. So there's actually a lot of blank space in between here. I'm not talking about in between here. I'm talking about on the thing itself. So yeah, about that comment about, blank space between here, I forgot all the end-of-season awards stuff. So, go me. Numpty. Antonio Augusto, player of the season by far. Alexander Petrov, goal of the season. And the signing of the season, 10 million euros from CSKA Moscow. Robert Maria, young player of the season. Let's take a look at this Petrov goal. This was against Eibar, who finished 6th. They qualified for Europa League this year. Broderson brings it forward. Crosses it in. Petrov, very Malo-esque. 27 yards? 28? Curls it in for the goal. And that was well done. Season review, undefeated. I actually got a message about finished season unbeaten. Hold on. Record low number of league defeats for Real Hyen. 0. So, go figure. Players inducted in the overall best 11. Furman Malo, Israel and Ahmed Uche were the other 2 players. Pretty much everybody on the squad is La Liga B or better. They're all La Liga. Seferovic's finally there. He pushed off Raboui finally. Or maybe it was Van Berkel. It was Van Berkel who was there. So that's still a start. That's a solid starting 11, though. Well, Fernandez, I'm not quite sure about. But yeah, I would start this squad against any team. With Helio and Maria up top. How did Helio do this year? Let's take a look at this. A whole lot of nothing. 14 appearances, 11 off the bench, 8 goals, 4 assists. They're just not getting the most out of them. Some people may struggle to name Andrew Pelham's Real Hyen Football Club team of 2021. Javi Prado is still playing for Monterrey. He's got to be up there in age. How old is he now? 34? He is 34. Well, 8 goals and 11 appearances. Can't complain about that. Pedro Ruiz turns out for Ipswich Town. That's interesting. He had 8 goals and 35 for him last year, but he didn't get on the field this year. Jacques Roche is still playing. That's kind of interesting. Still having a solid season. 11 assists, 4 goals, 3 players of the match for Andorra. They've got a striker that bears watching. I've got him on the short list. Okay. We're still playing... How can I say this? High-tempo, entertaining, attacking, possession-style soccer. There's only so much I can do. Told the guys we're going to qualify for the Champions League, and they were like, yeah, sure. Injuries, good grief. We had a bunch of players out. Uche was out for 2 months. Israel was out for 2 months. Roberto was out for 3 weeks. Augusto had 5 injuries this season. Who's he wanted by now? I just looked at that. So, the training camp destination. Here, you know what? Let me switch this over here real quick. So our choices are Holland, Austria, Switzerland, Scotland, Germany, England, France, and USA. Yeah, I think we're going to go over to England. Spanish League Player of the Year, Antonio Augusto. Well deserved. Carlos Cesar also had a solid season. Jose Diaz had a solid season as well. Verdonk won the top goal scorer award, 22 goals overall. He beat Goodwin and Yon Vera. Carbon claims head coach of the year. Well, yeah, he deserved it. Eibar was kind of the surprise team of the season. They clawed their way up near the end to finish 5th. Yeah, I mean there's a distinct drop off between 4th and 5th, but between 5th and 7th, it was a battle all season. So, and he did really well. They drew 10. They only lost 11. You know, a couple good free transfer moves and that, and they will be a team to keep their eyes on. Wow. With the exception of Goodwin and Diaz, we totally dominated the first team of La Liga. I got the real name Fixin', but the game still calls it Spanish First Division team. So the real name fixes some of it, but not all of it. So we are going to call it here. There's going to be kind of an awkward break, and then you're going to see me do my usual ending. So, you know, space between here. If you did like what you see and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM20.